We're back. RealTalkTwinCities.com. All things real estate. We're your local partners, local experts here to help you. RealTalkTwinCities.com. Buy, sell, list. We are back with Cheryl's secrets on how to sell fast and sell high. Cheryl is an extremely successful listing agent, and we started talking about some of the things that it's not quite as simple as you might imagine. Isn't that right? To get the top dollar for your home, it's a strategy, right, Cheryl?
Yeah, it absolutely is a strategy, and one of the things that you have to keep in mind is the average agent only does about 7 transactions a year, and I have done like 500 in the last 5 years, so I have a ton of experience when it comes to negotiating, pricing a property, and you really need to make sure that you're working with a professional. So please contact us, RealTalkTwinCities.com. So again, nobody can tell you exactly what your home is going to sell for. But the risk that you run if you price too high is you're not going to get any offers. Right, Donna?
That's right.
So what are buyers usually thinking when they're looking at a property? What do they want to do?
They want to lowball or come in. Their attitude is, I never know unless I ask, so I'm going to come in below where it is. But if it's too high above where they want to come in, they won't even offer.
Exactly, because the average list versus sale price is typically right around a 5% discount. And it's not uncommon that a buyer is going to ask for the seller to pay closing costs, which can be a 3% reduction.
Right.
So we always need to keep those numbers in mind when we're pricing the property, because there will be some negotiation. But if you are priced too high, your property is going to sit on the market too long, it's going to become stale, and you're going to end up doing price reductions that you may not have had to do had you priced it right in the first place. So what we want to do is we want to take a look at the historical data. We need you to really remove your emotions. It doesn't matter how great you think this property is. The next buyer might not even be using it in the same way that you are. So we'll take a look at what's happened in your neighborhood, similar type properties, and then we're also going to compare the county data, the Zillow's estimate, even though we hate it, we like to take a look at that number as well. And then we're also going to take a look at your property compared to others when it comes to the style and the amenities that you have. A lot of times sellers will say, okay, well the house down the street sold for this much, so mine must be worth that. But that might have very little bearing. Donna, can you think of some things that might impact the difference in values?
Oh yeah, the school district is important to a lot of families.
Yep.
Parks, what's the walk score if you're in a downtown or urban area? Those are really important. What about the noise factors? Are you real close to the highway? Do you back up to a commercial building? All of those things really do impact. And then are you in the flight path for the airport or close to a train station?
Yes.
Things like that.
Power lines.
Yeah.
Power
one.
lines are a
Exactly.
big one too.
Yeah, so those are great neighborhood indicators, and then we also need to take a look at your home in particular. A lot of times we'll walk into a house that's a 1970s split entry, and the house down the street is a 2-story. Now, you have to think about when a house is built, what is the difference in the value? A split entry property is going to be one of the least expensive homes to get built, so the value is not going to be the same as a 2-story. So we need to take a look at that. We need to take a look at the number of bedrooms, baths, square footage. Do you have a new kitchen? Do you have a new bathroom? Do you have a main floor family room? So all of these factors we need to take into consideration. If you have a condo or a townhome, the things that are going to be important are the view, outdoor space, indoor parking, amenities.
The floor.
Yeah, the flooring, exactly. So
Well,
all
I mean,
of those.
Is it concrete?
Oh, which
or-
floor you're on.
Right.
Right. Yeah, because security can play into a buyer's factor as well. So, and then another thing we can do too that people kind of get hung up on is the price per square foot. But you have to be careful with the price per square foot because the value is above ground. And so you don't want to be comparing a house with a finished basement to one that doesn't, when the value is going to be much higher above ground, because people really don't want to have their little kids sleeping in the basement. Okay, so then I kind of go down the list and I take a look at, if you've got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, I look for the most expensive home that has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, the most expensive home that has the same square footage as yours.
Let me chime in just a little bit there. I look at a lot of appraisals, and you can compare to a home that's bigger, but there are limits. And typically speaking, it's about gross GLA, gross living area. So if your home is 3,000 square foot, and there's a home that's 36 or 3,700 square feet, sold for 420 or something, that is a comp because the adjustment for the gross living area is around 20%. But a home, say that's 4,200 square feet and yours is 3,000, it's not going to be used. So that's something I think that when you say the home down the street sold for that's an important piece.
I also look at foundation size, to compare 100 above or below the foundation size of the property that I'm
Yep.
working with. And I also look at age of the home, 5 years newer, 5 years older, and
Right.
see what comes up in that market. And that's really pretty key and is helpful.
Yeah, exactly,
And
yeah.
Cheryl, we interrupted you. You were saying.
No, I'm glad to have you, giving me your input, because I know you guys work with this stuff every day too, and we all look at things differently. One thing too I always like to talk with you about is why are you selling? What is your goal? Where are you going? Do you need equity coming out of your property to buy the next home? So we really have to analyze all of these things, because sometimes we get into conversations about renting versus owning. We get into conversations about getting an interim loan to get you on to the next place, and timing. How quickly do we need to get your property sold? The biggest thing here is you as the seller, you are always the boss, and our job
That's right.
is to be obedient. So we can go through and we can give you all of the evidence in the world, all of the numbers that we have, and we're going to analyze probably 10 or 12 different areas to help you come up with the price. And then we're going to show you the actives in your competition, and we're going to let you determine where is the best spot for you to fit in after we have this conversation. And then it's our job to get those buyers in the door and analyze what their comments are and help you determine if we need to make any adjustments to the prices as we go on.
Sounds good. I would list my home with you, Cheryl.
Well, I would expect that you better, Eric, because I would have you refinance or provide the loan for me.
That's right. And
And-
you have.
And I have,
Right.
and you know what? I've been analyzing my, I've been doing my own little mortgage checkup,
You
and I
need that.
think I might be able to save a couple $100 a month.
Well, all right. I'll help you with your mortgage checkup, or anybody that's listening, if you need a mortgage checkup, which you may. Are you missing the boat on anything? Can you save money? Should you stay where you are? Go to a 15-year for no cost. Mortgage checkup takes about 5 minutes. EricTheLoanGuy.com or Real Talk Twin Cities. And we're here again with Elise, one of the Real Talk regulars. She's CEO and founder of Azure Wealth Management, and she's talks about creating a legacy for yourself. So with these investment properties and refinancing and saving a couple $100 a month, and geez, what should I do with a
What
couple
should you do
$100
with
a
it?
month?
Well, so I'm going to pick back up kind of where we left off last week because we were talking about 5 tips for the new year, and the final one was find a financial advisor. Find someone that you trust to work with. And I have numerous people. I just started my own firm within the last year for a variety of reasons, some of which I'll go over here, but I still have people coming up to me going, well, how are you different? What is it that you do that others aren't doing? And there's so much confusion in the industry about titles, about what people do, that I want to give everybody some tips for finding a good financial advisor, for finding somebody like me, or why I'm also different from the rest of my industry. So if we just get into that, first and foremost, find somebody that's a certified financial planner. That is the industry benchmark for basically the highest credentialing that you can get.
No, they should call you. And what's your number?
651-300-2456. It is the most significant credential in the industry, and it's a great place to start. You can go to the Certified Financial Planning Board website if you're not in our area and able to work with me. You can go to the website and you can search people by geographic area and find somebody that's a certified financial planner. But one thing that most people overlook is actually looking to see if the credentials are up to date and accurate. So you might find individuals, planners, who have alphabet soup behind their name. They may not be active credentials, maybe something they got decades ago and they just are still using.
Ooh, good tip.
Yep, absolutely. Most people also don't realize you can go online and check to see you can do a background check on your advisor. You know, do you really want to be working with somebody who's filed bankruptcy numerous times or has been convicted of a felony that's going to be trusting your money? You can go online and look at those things. So that's just like best practice. Start there. Find somebody that's trustworthy by all measurable, outward measurable measures. The next one is, are you guys familiar with what a fiduciary standard is versus suitability standard?
No.
Do you guys fill us in?
Do you guys have any idea if the advisors you work with, for those
Suitability.
that don't work with me?
Well, fiduciary means that, you have a, you are responsible for someone's finances and doing the right thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then suitability would be, per their ability, whether they're, can they tolerate, their risk tolerance, basically, right? No?
No, you're close, Eric. Fiduciary standard is actually a really hot topic right now in the industry because the Department of Labor is pushing that all people that manage retirement plans or all individuals that oversee any type of retirement plan, even individual IRAs, have a fiduciary responsibility. I take on a fiduciary responsibility with all of the clients that work with me, and it means that I have a legal responsibility to do what's in the client's best interest, as though it were my own money, my own life.
And in order to get in touch with you online, it's azurwealthmanagement.com,
Yep,
right?
that's correct. 651-300-2456.
All right. Thank you, Elise. Elise Jensen, Azure Wealth Management. She's one of our Real Talk regulars. A trusted partner here. We're coming back with Myth versus Reality. Clear to close. Ask the expert. A little bit more from Cheryl, Real Talk Twin Cities.